Hello, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to make this design using the Flexbox method. So before doing that, let me talk about the Flexbox. Actually, Flexbox is a one-dimensional layout model. You can choose to build your design in a main axis or in a cross axis, or you can say in a row or column. What I mean by that, let me show it to you. So let me comment this out and remove this width. We don't need to use this width property if we are going to make this navigation div flexbox container. So we'll remove this property, and as you can see, if I save this and refresh our project folder, you will see all the design is removed now. And let's make this nav div a flex container. So making a flex container, we just need to use a display property, and inside the display property we use the value of flex. What it does, it will make this nav class a flex container. So let me save the file, and let's select the children of the navigation as we did here to just give the background color. So let's say dot nav, and inside the nav is a div, and say all the div will have a color of red, so say background red. So let's save the file and refresh the page. So as you can see, it given the color here. So this is the flex container, and let's open up the developer tool, and inside the developer tool we'll see this is our navigation, and it shows a flex label here, which is referring to this nav div, and it says that this is the flex container. And you can see we have given the display flex property over here. If you hover over this nav class, you will see it will automatically give the 100% width to this flex container, because we have used this display flex property over here. So the flex container is automatically get all the space. We will use a property of a flex box, which is flex direction. What flex direction do? It will allow you to move your flex items in your desired position through the flex direction property value. What do I mean by that? Let me show it to you. So let's go inside the nav container, which is the flex container. So let's go to the nav dot class, and which is the flex container, and we will add flex direction property. It will tell the browser how the item which is inside the nav class will be displayed on the page. So the possible value for the flex direction is row and row reverse and column reverse. But we will talk about row first. This row value will give this navigation items direction of row. It will flow all the items like row inside the navigation class. If you refresh the page, nothing will happen. To understand the flex direction property, let me give this flex items width. So inside the nav, and we are going to select the div of the nav, which is the flex items, and we will say width of 100%, and we will remove this flex direction property to show you what is going on here. If you refresh the page, you will see that you can see all the div has 100% width, and it is equally divided. Why? Because the default value for the flex direction is row. the flex direction is automatically set to row, so that is why these flex item is aligning side by side. Let's say you want to change the direction of the header, so we will say flex direction and we will say column, not column reverse. We'll say column and we'll save the file and refresh the page. You can see it's aligning in a cross axis. So this is how the flex direction property works. If we need to make it a row, we will say row here, or otherwise we will leave it. It will defaultly use this value. We'll use simply say row and it will act as a row as it did before, but we don't need to use this for the row. If we want to make our layout in a cross axis, we will use this flex direction property and we will put the value for the flex direction column. I will say flex direction column, and when we refresh the page, it will align our div step by step in a column direction. So let's say if you want to choose row reverse, let's first put row and refresh the page. You can see we have this flex direction property row, which is same as before. If we put row reverse, you will see the changes here. We'll see row and we'll say reverse, and if you put this row reverse, you will see this item will start from here. And using this property value, you will see that how powerful it is. I didn't change the HTML layout in the HTML index file. I just place a row reverse value to flex direction inside the flex container of the header section. It changed the position of the first div and it give the row reverse direction to this. So this is the row reverse direction, and if you use column reverse, it will do this thing to the cross axis. So say column reverse, you can see it changes the first div to the end. So that is how it works. If you open up the HTML, you can see we haven't changed any HTML tag here. We only put a flex direction column reverse value and it changes the direction of the first div to the end. So that is how it works, and that is how we use our flex items to flow into different direction. So that is it for now, and see you in the next lecture.